Welcome to Fortnite Live. We're going to be talking about Online Test 8 today. I'm Will. You guys probably know me as Rackzilla. Got Zach Phelps with me, who you guys are probably used to seeing here on the stream. But we have a new face today, and that is John Abercrombie, one of our senior programmers on Fortnite. How's it going?
Good. How you doing?
Doing pretty well. So, Zach, when we initially posted about a week ago that OT8 was starting, we actually it seemed like people were a little bit surprised, like, oh wow, we're already, like, OT7 was just here.
Yep.
We're right into OT8. How that come together so fast?
Because we planned it that way.
Honestly,
there's a big feature that was in development that John was working on, which was our defenders, and we'd actually planned for the defenders to come in actually in our next release. And John and Roger, the producer, came to me and said, "Hey, we think we can get it in early. Would you guys be interested in doing that? We could use a bunch of feedback from the players on it." And we were like, "Yeah, that sounds awesome." And so we were able to get that in, and I think it turned out amazing. And it's definitely one of the things that we're going to look at today. So
awesome. So before we get started, do you want to talk about the chat? So we get asked all the time, codes, where are the codes? When can I play Fortnite? If you are in the chat right now, please let us know if you need a code. We're going to get as many people as possible. Epic Misty is in the chat giving codes away, and we would love to have you join us in OT8. So let's talk a little bit about what's in there. So you mentioned defenders. What's kind of the high level of what that is?
I'll let John speak to it. He worked on it.
So defenders are right now are survivors that you have in your outpost that can help you basically play the game. So they defend against the hordes of monsters coming at you, and we have 5 types of defenders in OT8, sorry, and you have melee, shotgun, assault rifle, sniper, and pistol, and you can collect those defenders from quests in the game. And when you're given them, you have basically a defender beacon, which is basically a trap that you can place in your outpost and summon those defenders, and you give them weapons. And then when the hordes of monsters show up, they'll fight for you.
Cool. So we're going to take a look at defenders and outposts shortly. When we went into OT7, Zach, one of the big changes was the addition of the skill tree. So we used to have home base. We added skill tree. We talked on stream about how, hey, this is the very first iteration. It's super early. It's super rough. Got player feedback. Knew there's some things that you wanted to change about it. What's kind of the big changes to the skill tree?
It is less rough.
Slightly less rough,
and slightly improved.
Is it like 20% less rough, 30%?
Let's just say, our designer on it, Anders, he did a phenomenal job taking an iteration pass at it. We changed a few key things about it. The biggest thing that we did was we actually broke it. The initial skill tree was really intended to cover Stonewood, and we did that very intentionally because there's so much in our game that players need to learn that we wanted to make sure that it unlocked incrementally as new players came in so they could learn each one of the mechanics. We got the feedback, though, on a consistent basis that's like, hey, this really feels more like a skill trunk. There's really only one path. And so we did 2, and on top of that, there wasn't clarity that there was a bigger skill tree. So we did 2 main things, which is we provided some early choices, so you could opt into slightly different paths. At the very least, you could, if you wanted to get Ninja faster or Outlander faster, you could make a choice of which way you wanted to go. And then we broke it into 2 trees. The initial iteration, the initial Stonewood experience is actually broken into 2 trees. And then we clarified the requirements for what you need to do to unlock the next tree. So it's now clear that you have to purchase 30 nodes in order to get into the advanced skill tree. And then in the advanced skill tree, I want to say you have to purchase 25 nodes to get into the rest of it. But as soon as you unlock the first into the advanced skill tree, you can immediately see all of the opportunity that Fortnite has.
Gotcha. And so going into OT8, there were some things we talked about in OT7. Everything was reset for OT7. OT8, we reset some things, right? So what were the things that we reset?
We reset the skill tree.
Research points.
We definitely reset. Well, that goes along with the skill tree. So what we did on the research points is we refunded the research points that were spent on the nodes.
Right.
Any banked research points, we went ahead and we didn't respect those. I feel bad about that, but the rate of generation that we changed and the way that we changed the generation rate of the research points meant that there wasn't a simple solution to make the math work.
Got it.
And so what we did is we refunded the research points of the nodes that you had purchased, and then added the skill points, and then allowed people to work back into the tree. Now that meant that based upon the new balance changes for that tree, that players aren't able to get quite as much power immediately from the same amount of research, basically from the same amount of play that they had done up to that point. So so now there's more things to unlock. More things require research points right now, and we're looking for feedback on that. The research points are definitely, you run into those research points, and it definitely makes it so the progression gets a little slower as you need to collect those things as time goes by.
Sure. And then outposts, there was outpost reset as well, right?
We reset the Stonewood outpost specifically because we beautified the map and changed the orientation. And so when we did that, we just refunded when people load into their outpost and their Stonewood outpost, if they had one, all of their wood, stone, metal walls get refunded and put into the storage inventory.
Got it. So let's actually take a look at the new version of the skill tree real quick. Maybe you can walk me through this, and I'd love to learn a little bit more about just kind of what each of the sort of paths represent here in the early part of the game.
Yeah. So so what we have here is when players first start, they'll see this skill tree as their primary one, not with all these nodes unlocked, but with all these nodes locked. This is kind of our what it looks like when the node's not locked, or when the node is locked, I should say, or when it's not purchased. And so what we have here is you kind of move through this initial 30 nodes. This takes about, I want to say when you're close to high threat, Stonewood, you can get a long ways in here and be able to unlock Outlander leadership or Ninja leadership, which gives you access to that Outlander, that Ninja that many people end up getting from a card pack early in the game.
I can confirm that is the case.
Yes.
I'm at high threat Stonewood, and I was able to unlock the Ninja.
Yes,
so.
and so good. That's great. So our math is working correctly. So this is the initial skill tree after you purchase 30 nodes, which is actually, if you go through and count, if you literally counted every single one of these things, including this YOLO here that I've got, which is my home base rating or my home base name, it's actually 31. So heads up, it's actually 31 if you count this. If you don't count this, it's 30. And so, and there's currently a tooltip error someplace in the game where it says you have 30 of 30 nodes. FYI, that's a bug. We are aware. Once you get to that 30, you then unlock this entire view that you can see where all the different trees are in the expansion. And so then from here you do the Vendor Tech Boot Sequence Advanced, which then takes you through. We also have zooming now. Thank you, Chris Guion. Really appreciate that. And so we get into this skill tree, which is, there's a few more choices. You move through that, and then we get into, and then you can unlock the core node. Now,
and then at that point, you're talking about a lot of different choices,
yeah,
right?
And so from here, you can basically focus in on your sort of your medicine, your healing components, your scavenging, your resistance boosts, your synthesis, which ends up being your technology boosts, your expansion, which ends up being your harvesting rate. This is like where a lot of my points ended up going, which is your harvesting rate and your in-world inventory, and your outpost inventory, or your offense, which increases your ability and your damage capacity.
Got it.
And so one other thing that we did in this build was we tried to clarify our stats a little bit more cleanly and tried to make sure everybody clearly understood, the four major stats that we have in the game, which are fortitude, offense, resistance, and technology, and the relationship between those and the squads, the survivor squads as you put them together.
Got it. Awesome. So we're gonna play Outpost.
We are going to play Plankerton Outpost 6, which we changed the quest flow on everybody just a little bit between OT7 and OT8, and in OT8 now, in order to get into Canny Valley, you have to complete Outpost 6 and then launch the rocket, as opposed to previously it was Outpost 5 and launch the rocket. So I had an Outpost 6 that I haven't finished yet, so we thought maybe we'd go give that a try.
And you told me that one is not easy.
Let's just say at the moment, with my very small, comparatively to many of our players in game right now that I've been playing with, this 4,000 home base rating, in my opinion, solo play anyways, is not enough to really play high threat or very high threat of Plankerton. Now I've got 3 awesome team members that are going to see if we can help push us through this.
Yeah, you're playing with, from our QA team, Fiza, Nicholas, and Cody, who have told me that they can do this.
I also believe we can do this. We will give it a spin, and we'll see how it goes.
All right.
It gets crazy. It's gonna be it should be a good show.
All right. Well, let's jump in and see what happens here. And
as I mess up my mic. Okay, we're good.
All right. So we're gonna hop right in and do this Outpost 6.
So how upgraded are your defenders for this?
So my defenders, I've taken my defenders to tier 2.
Yeah.
On all my I've upgraded them tiered once, and then 3 of my defenders here. We can take a quick look as this is loading up.
Okay.
So I've got my rifleman to 11, my shotgun gunner to 11, and my sniper to 11, and then the other 2 guys are 10s. We've been experimenting quite a bit with the. I've been experimenting a little bit with sort of placement and trying to find a little bit better placement. So one other new thing in OT8 is we do have our tactical and support perks. So as you gain those other heroes and as you level them up, some heroes come with tactical support perks right away, and some of them you level them up. And right now what I have slotted is I've got a hotfix constructor giving me a support perk here of 10% reduced building cost. And then I'm adding my harvesting outlander here to give me a 10% boost speed on floors, just to get me to run around faster. And then right now I'm maining my the mixer, which she's one of the first heroes I'd gotten and that I thought was really fun. So.
All right, let's hop in. So we talked about defenders. How do I actually get them?
So the defenders start as quests that unlock in high threat. So when you get to the end, when you unlock the outpost, I want to say outpost defense 5.
Yeah, around there.
When you unlock outpost defense 5, you'll get a side quest to get the rifleman, and then when you get to the next into very high threat Stonewood, you'll get, I believe, I'm trying to remember. I don't remember who it is, but anyways, you get one there, and then you get a couple more in Plankerton. And so basically these quests unlock as you go through. But the players that have already gotten past that, they already have. All the quests are just given in your inventory automatically.
All right, so let's take a look. Show us around here.
Okay, so let's see. So we've got our, let's make sure. And by the way, I've been harvesting like mad, trying to make sure that I'm prepped for this thing. Sorry, we want to go in here. This is our nicely protected outpost. Let's get someplace where we can actually see our map here. All right, so we have A and B amplifiers that I've enabled and built around that are to the left and right, or I should say to the north and south of the outpost. And what I like, so right now for the defenders, this is very, what did you say, tier 0 version?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just the very first version. We really wanted to get them in. So what I do with them is every time we come in, we have to drop weapons for them. So what I've done is I've set up this little staging area where I can bring them all in, and
it's pretty brilliant.
And then I'm gonna go ahead and drop all their weapons for them. And so then they'll stay here until I call them someplace else. So you can see they all come in, they wander around a little bit, and so you guys can hear them. That essentially, well, at least you guys on the stream can hear them. These guys can't. But anyways, they're asking. They want a rifle. As soon as I give them a rifle, they're going to start asking for. They're going to start asking for ammo. So what we do here is, I've got some built weapons here. We're going to go ahead and hand those out. Let's see, shotgun and sniper. And then we're going to go ahead and go through and drop some ammo for these guys. Oops, that's not what I wanted. There we go. Drop some ammo. I think we've got that. We've got that. We need some shotgun ammo. And what did that rifle take that I dropped? I think we take medium ammo. Yep. And so they pick up all that ammo, and now they're all ready to go. So now I'm hoping, is that if the husks spawn over here to the west, I'm actually going to try to use these pads here to kind of protect down this direction. And what we've done is we built over here, we've built this, sort of this little encampment here where essentially as the husks come up this ramp, they're just going to walk into this basically this death trap of survivor, as essentially our defenders plus a slew of traps. And so same thing on this side. If we get a spawn here from the east, as the husks come up, we essentially have these guys that can just open up fire. Because these are tier 1 or sort of essentially they're ordinary defenders, they have fairly low health. They have shields, so their shields would regen. But boy, if they get out there, just even one beehive will just take these guys out really fast. And then the revive time on them is what, twice as long as a normal revive right now?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
It takes a while to bring them back up. So you can revive them in the same way you can revive your teammates but it's definitely, you do not want them going down if you can prevent it.
You definitely have to keep your eye on them during combat just to make sure that they're doing okay.
We can go through more strategy. Or do you want to play it and just see how it rolls?
So I wanted to ask. So I wanted to take a moment, look inside the mind of a husk, right? Because I know that that John knows what's in the husk's mind because he tells them what to think.
To a certain extent, yes.
What I was curious about was just more of a, I don't know, say on a scale of 1 to 10, what do you think about his plan?
Zach tends to overbuild, so I think his plan is a good one as far as like creating choke points and putting the defenders in the right place so that when the husks walk into the choke points, the defenders are there waiting for them, or Zach and his teammates as well. There's only a couple in the outpost. There are only a couple of ways in, so creating the choke points is easy, but the large number of guys that will be coming in are going to overwhelm them and make it difficult for them to even defend that choke point at a certain. And then as the specials come in, the different characters that are different from the basic husks, then that'll make it all a little bit spicier. And I guess we'll see how it goes. The parts that I'd worried about, I guess, in the base are areas where the choke points can't be naturally defended in terms of there's not a ramp or something like that, and I think that's what this area he's looking at right now is kind of like that. I think it just opens up where they can just walk in. So I guess we'll see what happens if they come from the north, I guess it is.
Yeah. One of the things I'm worried about right now is just we do get pretty good spawns of propane husks, and we just want to make sure that. So I want to make sure that just one of those is not going to take out all these traps, which we should be pretty close to being good. I do want to note, John, that while I have built for sure, we're mainly dealing with L2 leveled elements here. I haven't gone through an L3 to everything. So I'm trying to provide a proper entertaining
That's totally
experience.
fine. No.
Yeah.
I'm much more of a minimalist builder, so I don't take up the whole. The whole plateau, the whole map, as you've done here. But
we try to do our best here. So.
No, it's great. I appreciate it. I like it.
Make sure, take no chances.
Well, Well, so comparatively to some of those to some of the guys that some of our elder guys like I think they're looking at this right now going like, Zach, what are you doing? What are you doing, my friend? just that's a lot of risk that you're taking there. You realize how much how much work is going to be rebuilding that stuff if this doesn't go well. It's like, well, so we'll see how we do here.
All right.
You ready to go?
Right, yeah, let's fire it up. Hey, for everybody that is watching in the chat, I know a bunch of you guys are waiting for codes. Misty's getting to everybody as fast as possibly can, and we will get you a code. So hang in there. When you do get one, you're gonna want to go to Fortnite.com. Make sure you have an Epic account created. You log in. If you go to the upper right-hand corner of the site, after you log in, you'll see your name. You hover over that, you'll see an area that says dashboard. You can go in there and redeem the code that you get.
Okay, so what we've done here is we got the Husks coming in from the east. I think they're primarily going to be coming up this ramp to the right here.
Yep.
So I'm going to see.
This is the first wave. How many waves do I get in Plankerton's take?
It said 4, I think.
This is going to be 4. This is going to be 4 waves, and they are going to be super fun. So I'm just getting my defenders out here, making sure that they're all set up. Now my job is to get my base out. Make sure to get that down. Provide a little more protection from lobbers.
Do you give your defenders the absolute best possible weapon you can give them?
Oh yeah, and drop them ammo. Yep. John, do you have any thoughts on that? Does that sound like a wise thing to do?
Yeah, that's definitely a wise thing to do.
Okay.
Yeah, and give them lots of ammo. I'm a soldier. I play a soldier usually, and when I did my first defense, it was outposts, Stonewood Outpost 7, with a defender. I think they used more ammo than I did, which was really helpful.
Gotcha.
But yeah, they can go through a lot of ammo.
So does your defender count to your combat score though?
Oh, I think that's a great question, John. Is that
I'm pretty sure it does. That is something that I haven't really investigated too far.
I'll bet you our QA knows for sure.
Yeah.
I certainly felt like when so I tested the defenders out in Stonewood 8 just to make sure I knew how they were going to work. Oh man, they just
hit like a truck.
eviscerated me.
Wow,
that was awesome. And look at those ice crystals slowly forming. Now let's see. I think one of my teammates might be able to help me. He's gonna see if he gets on there.
Thinking about it.
Yeah.
Oh, blaster! Oh,
Yeah.
You made it up.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. And let's just see how we're holding up here. So this is a nice thing about defenders. Normally there would be a couple of husks up here, but man, these defenders just clean them up.
I see what you're doing.
Yeah.
You're just keeping them there, so once they get to the walls, they're taking care of them.
That's right. So,
Okay.
so if anybody gets up here, they're just they just clean them up.
That makes sense.
Pretty nice. Okay, so we got 36 seconds left. I know this is seeming easy at the moment.
Well, it wasn't that easy. You did die one time.
Well, what I mean is that I'm not down in the fray.
Yeah. Well, wave 1 is just the appetizer, right?
Yeah. So wave 4 is the one that's going to be super fun here.
And how long is that wave? That's a longer wave.
That is not a timed wave. That is a number of husks killed wave. And if I remember correctly, we should be seeing 1,000 husks. We need to kill 1,000 husks to get through that wave. So that one can last actually quite a while. Okay, we're running over here to B.
So I'm seeing one of the things I snuck in and probably didn't document for OT8.
Yeah.
Which is that you will now see the health bars of husks or enemies that are shot by other people. So that I was playing a game with somebody else basically, and he was attacking a guy. But at the old way it worked in OT7 and previous builds was that the health bar wouldn't show up unless you shot them. Right. So you didn't know somebody was being engaged. And with a husk, so I sort of snuck that one in just when I redid the health bars for the defenders.
Gotcha. So that actually reminds me. One of the changes to Outposts in OT8 now is that so in order to progress, you have to always only play your own outpost, right? That was a thing that was changed.
Yeah. Yes, it was. So. Yeah, so now in order to progress, you always have to play your own outpost. Previously, your outposts 1 through 4, or sort of 1 through 4, you're able to share some of that burden, and we did change that. Honestly, because a lot of players, when we were doing our UX tests, didn't expect. They actually expected to have to be able. They actually expected to
have to do their own.
Have to do their own.
Right.
And then we're confused when. So either it'd go one way or the other. Either players were confused that they either had to do their own or not, and the rules were just inconsistent. And so what we decided to do for OT8 was to go ahead and make the rules consistent, get player feedback on what they thought was good. We were also, inadvertently, we're making it so people got less llamas because of that, because they didn't share. So if you look here, the defender got out. Normally I have him trapped back there. One of these smashers came through and knocked down my little fence to keep my defender in. So
if they get too far away from their beacon, we do bring them back. But he seems to be close enough to his current beacon that he doesn't mind so much.
Yeah. Now they will. Oh man, he got down here, John. Why is this? Like, I put him up on the roof. What's going on there, John?
I want to get closer to the action.
There's definitely an issue with them coming off of ledges occasionally. So
yeah,
we're aware of that.
He really enjoys this down here.
Yeah,
now, to be fair, like, man, the melee guy's pretty tough. Like, and we'll see if we can get a little action of him beating up one of these.
Oh, he got too far away.
He got too far away.
He had to get back.
Right.
Oh.
Good. At least he's not dead. That's honestly
That's
my
always
main.
good. Poison lobbers.
That does seem like the plan is going well so far.
So far we're doing all right. It's like we're definitely feeling some heat. Poor Fort Ninja out here. Let's see if we can get him up. Yeah, we're good. OT8, we reduced that revive time. That revive time's a little better now. Made it a little less punishing to get out there and try to get somebody back up on the field.
So we talked about how in that last wave, 1,000 husks you've got to kill. John and I were talking earlier about how one of the biggest bigger goals he has on his team is trying to make sure we can get as many husks on screen as possible. Can you talk a little bit about what that work has been like?
Yeah, I mean, we're dealing with a game that has procedurally stitched together levels that are just sort of made up on the fly, and a game where players can build things whenever they want to, as long as they have the resources. So that makes it a really difficult AI problem, because you're not dealing with a static world anymore. You're dealing with this sort of just anything can basically happen, and doing that quickly, because each AI has to simulate physics and meaning it has to find the floor and make sure it's moving along the floor correctly, and do pathing so it knows how to get to where it wants to get to. It's all kind of like expensive sort of problems that you want to deal with. So getting a large number of characters, over 50 characters moving at the same time is an interesting problem, and one that we've made some good progress on over the last year or two. But it's something you have to be very conscious about when you're adding new features. So, we want to make sure that we're able to always support the large number of characters we have now.
Just make sure. For sure.
So you can have experiences like this, right?
Yeah. So we were talking earlier. We talked about how there's the procedural nature of it in terms of how the each level is built, but then also the part where we give players a tool set that they can make choice and do things that we don't expect. And I had mentioned how in a way it almost feels like you're playing chess against the community, where they'll try a thing, we'll say, oh, maybe we shouldn't let them do that. And I had brought up the example of maybe like a year ago where we actually broke one of the rules on stream, which is that the community had shown the community team how to throw smashers into a pit, which was a thing that was long since fixed, but was a kind of an interesting example of like how players find unique ways to do things in the game, and then we say, oh, that's we don't really intend for that to work that way, or it creates a problem, and then we go and fix it.
Yeah, I think we tend to work from this the spirit of like what we feel Fortnite's supposed to play like, and occasionally the community shows us things that we don't like to see. It doesn't follow the spirit, but there's occasionally things that we see, and we're like, wow, that's really great. We should we could double down on something like that. So in that case, it was something the team knew about for a while in terms of getting guys stuck in pits or just stuck in general. And we added a system basically we want to allow the player to do something and feel clever having done it, but we don't want to penalize the encounter as a result of the AI being stuck down there. So in certain cases, if we find an AI being stuck, we'll eventually remove them from the play and then be able to allow us to spawn a new guy, not necessarily the same guy, but a new guy in its place, so that, again, going back to performance, we don't have tons of guys in the pit while we're spawning more guys and eventually dragging the server down to not being playable at all.
All right, so we're a little on our heels here at the moment. What happened is that I failed to recognize the lack of preparation in this area, and now we are going to have to deal with it. So it's okay. We're going to be okay. Everybody just take a breath. It's all going to be sorted shortly. Okay, so we're just going to upgrade these pieces. I wanted to get my defenders out here. Part of the reason I've been throwing defenders up here, especially our what I've been hoping is that I was experimenting with the idea that this melee guy could come up here and actually try to defend against flingers, which is what's happening. So these guys are getting up top here, I believe, because we have flingers showing up. So I believe that's what's happening. I don't think it's coming from this, and that's all trapped off. Oh, and while I was doing that, the timer was running out, and we're good to go, and everybody's dead. So good deal. Oh, and I'm almost dead. Ooh, that was close. Let's see if we can get these guys up. Oh, and yay! And they're coming from the same direction that we just almost got clobbered from. Okay, good.
So
awesome. Let's see if we can get some more.
So is this the 1,000 husk wave?
This is gonna be
sure you have ammo.
Fun. Yeah, let's just ammo it up here. And we got fire guys.
That's already a lot of husks.
Yeah. So notice at the top there we have our counter going down. 984 left.
Hey, that's an improvement over OT7.
Yeah, exactly. OT7,
that was
the
a big
counter's
one.
down to the right, and then people are like, what's going on?
There's a flinger, there's blasters.
Oh, I do not have my bat out. Okay, my team's gonna have to deal with that.
You're on fire.
And
wow,
and
you're actually running
pictures.
away.
Oh yeah, no, those guys are bad news, my friend.
Oh man.
Get my shields back up. Fortunately, my 6 seconds, and then we're there.
Oh no.
Man, this is going to be intense end to this.
Wow. And there's lobbers over there. Dear.
Yeah, I hear them. Fortunately, I think they're all poison lobbers.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
That's not a poison lobber.
No, it's just like, we're going to stand over here.
I think there's a defender taking them on. Not that one.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
So
that was weak sauce right there.
So John, working on AI and some of like the husk pathing and stuff like that, when you're playing Fortnite, are there times where you see the enemy AI do stuff and you're like, oh wow, I didn't really expect that to happen?
I think not at this point.
No.
Not as much. Yeah, I generally have a good idea of what they're going to do, and that allows me to play the first part of the game, and it's kind of easy, and then I start to hit the actual, like, it gets kind of difficult, and for me, it gets really fun at that point.
Yeah.
Because it becomes a challenge of facing against, because, for me, what drives the encounters is the layout of the level, and that changes from play to play.
Right.
And a lot of times you can end up in really difficult situations where this is just going to be a tough one to defend against. Or that there's just going to be so many guys, it's going to be difficult.
All right. So if you notice here, we've got 824, but my base on this side is just getting pummeled.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. see if we can get it up. And we got Taker on me, which I'm hoping my team will figure out here and see if they can help me out. But we will find out.
In terms of the variety, actually sometimes propane guys definitely get me.
Yeah.
And bees definitely get me. So I appreciate that. I usually, you know, well played AI, well played.
Do we both have Takers on us? That's amazing. There's 2 Takers running around this map at the moment.
Ooh. 770 left. This is gonna be tough, Zach.
I know. I know. Well, especially for the number of bullets these fire guys are taking. Now I'm wishing I brought my water gun.
It's gonna be real tough. Oh man.
Let's get up some of these. Where am I? I'm just taking damage from the firehouse.
From the fire, yeah.
Where are those Takers at?
I don't know.
They're around here someplace. There he is.
That will
Oh,
help
yeah.
you. That will help you a little
That's
bit.
one.
A little bit of relief.
Okay, let's get up there and make sure. I just want to make sure this ceiling's okay still.
So we're seeing a lot of different.
Okay, so
a lot of different types of husks, John. So what do you think about in terms of like, different husks and how each of them have a specific purpose and goal for what you're trying to accomplish? How do you look at that?
Well, we try to approach the design of the enemies by looking at like what do we want them to be doing. So like attacking the player, attacking building. How are they attacking buildings? How are they attacking the player? And we've got right now, I think, nearly all the archetypes we'd want, the basic archetypes we'd want for that. Nearly all. So based off of that, we can add variety, whether it's like, the propane guy or the bees are both really good examples of that. Both really annoying examples, I guess, for some players, but wonderful examples for adding some spice to the game. I love, personally, the lobbers as one of my favorite ones as well, just because they love, I think they use the space pretty well in terms of moving around and
Nope.
There's the Taker.
Oh yeah, my guy's on me.
Oh no!
Look at my team.
Your team was there.
Yeah, they got it. Oh, that's awesome. Nice job, guys.
Wow.
Oh, that was close. They were like, yeah, don't worry, Zach. We have your back and you're going to die at the same time. Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Blaster.
Trying to get this.
I'm amazed you're,
And I'm just
you're
like,
looting.
I'm literally just trapping this up because it's like, okay, well, if these guys are going to come stand over here, I'm just like, okay, well, they can stand over there and get spiked. Okay. If you notice, my health is almost, so I use my health in this round. It's almost back up again to use again.
Yeah.
7 seconds.
So if you look back at maybe like the Husky, he used to have a few OTs ago a burp attack, which is like a poison cloud he used to use, and we removed that because we decided that the Husky's purpose wasn't to he wasn't supposed to be attacking the player. He was supposed to be just leading away with his melee attacks against the building structures that you had placed, and the burp attack sort of took away from that. And there's been other cases where we've taken away the lunges from the husks, and there's like this whole like misfit toy sort of character we can make from all the abilities that we've removed from some of the AIs.
Oh yeah, see that? Did that just clean that guy out? Sorry.
That's awesome.
I'm very focused on the game here, guys.
I don't know why.
Yeah, you guys.
You're halfway there.
I feel like you guys are like. I feel like I'm watching football, and you're the wives that are talking about like sewing on the. No, maybe not. Maybe that's inappropriate. Yeah.
We're talking about football.
Yes.
That's true.
While
That's
you're
true.
playing
You guys are like.
See, the one spot you didn't put a trap. That's where the lobber was.
He's now standing over here. John's like by design. By design.
No, they don't avoid traps. That would be too mean.
Yet awesome at the same time. All right.
Yeah, maybe. There should be a new AI type.
Put up something here.
There you go.
You had me nervous, but I'm feeling a little bit better.
Well, realize we just got just over halfway through.
Yeah.
Okay.
Feeling
We're just over halfway
feeling
through.
a little bit better.
We're doing all right, you know. Like they're definitely, you know, that's not quite what I wanted to do just there. Like.
Oh. Taker.
Let's see here. I'm literally just spamming build.
I feel pretty good about this.
We'll get there.
We'll make it happen. Is it harder to play, Zach, when somebody's asking you questions the whole time?
Yeah, maybe.
Do
I don't know.
you not normally play at home with somebody asking you questions?
I normally do not. Yeah, that is true.
Down under at least 50. Yeah, I feel pretty good about it. I think we might pull this out just yet. So Zach, you were you spent like the bulk of the today in the UX stuff right now.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about how the team has incorporated some of that testing in and how impactful it is on
It's huge.
on Fortnite?
It's huge. Like we have we have quite a few sources of information that we use to inform the design of the game, and one of those is a set of brains that are called our design team. And then the other ones are our players, which everybody's playing OT8, and we take all of the feedback, everything that we read on the forums, as well as the feedback we get in global chat and in email to us, and we take all of those things into consideration. And then probably one of the really useful things is watching players actually play our game from. So they're actually playing for 4 days, and so they play for approximately 30 plus hours of the game. And so, and they start from the beginning and play through, and we learn all sorts of really interesting things about sort of like little things that make it harder for people to understand the game or know what to do. And I would say pretty much every major change that we have in the game today, from when we had home base, which was actually sort of the overhead map, where you actually built buildings, to the new skill tree system, to a lot of our reward flows are all related to Baker. Oh, my team's totally on it. It's awesome. It's right there. Look at that.
The defender was helping out too.
That was awesome. So almost all those changes are, we watch players play, and we have an incredible UX team that just does an incredible job, that very professionally looks at that watches the players play, instruments their play, looks at places where players aren't learning the things that we intend. They try to match, they understand what our design intent is that we're trying to accomplish, and then they provide a lot of feedback to, hey, we think this is someplace where they make suggested changes about, hey, how we can improve the game and make it better. And so that ends up becoming as meaningful as a resource as all of our other ones. So that's literally that's where we're watching players. It's like doing the outpost defenses, like we watched them all complete one outpost defense, and they all complete it together, and then and they're like, okay, hey, everybody, come help me with mine now. Right. And they're on outpost 2, and so it's like, and we're like, and they all went in there, and they got super confused, and they're all running around. They're like, how do we activate it? What's going on? Right. And they didn't understand they didn't understand what was happening. And so that was the place where it's like, okay, well, between that and then the opposite piece, which is the players that do understand it run into the element of, when you get to outpost 5, 6, 7, you can no longer do them together. We just decided to make the change and try it the other way for a while. Yeah, look at all these traps are pretty much dead, but we only have 23 enemies left, so I'm just gonna
no damage at all. You made it.
Yeah, we did good. We did good. I think John said we overbuilt. I would say we built just enough.
Awesome.
Show off the heel pads. Tim is whispering to me that we should show the heel pads off more, so we can definitely do that. Heel pads have been balanced appropriately now, so they're balanced comparatively to OT7. They're balanced correctly, so you run over them. You can essentially place two or three heel pads and get fully healed up now. So they scale with you more appropriately. Which is great.
You know, we normally go an hour. It's only 4:45. Should we do a quick mission sometime?
Of course.
Show me a.
Let's do it. Let's figure something out. See where we're at.
Let's do something quick.
We should make sure one of our QA guys bugs this little. Like I didn't realize this thing was hanging around. I guess I haven't been in enough
the taker mark.
The taker mark.
Yep.
Yeah, that's interesting.
All right. What do you think? What type of mission you want to do?
Let's see. Great question. Let's take a look. Let's see. Let's see where we're at. Oh yeah, Hero XP. Can I open some mini llamas first?
Sure.
Is that okay?
Sure.
All right, great, awesome.
Maybe yeah.
Oh, and I got skill points to spend.
I don't want to hold you back.
Oh, and I've got to launch the rocket. Yeah, it's gonna take a while. That thing's like super awesome.
Yeah, you got the goods.
All right.
One down. Now we definitely made a few changes, I believe, to our mini llamas here. They now have a chance to go silver, as well as they have a chance to drop some pretty nice schematics now. So now they're not going to always drop that, but that along with the change to not being, everybody need to do their own outposts. There's a lot more opportunities now for players to go in and get those mini llamas from helping each other out.
Got it.
I know there's a couple elder players that were in chat last night, literally begging, well, maybe I should say looking for other people's outposts to do. I believe they were looking for schematic XP to upgrade some of their more powerful guns.
Oh.
So.
I see. I got some offers to help me with mine.
Yeah, and you're like,
I didn't take anybody up on that, and then I failed. I failed the outpost.
I need one skill point. And I need some RP.
Well, you're gonna play, so
I'm gonna. I guess I'll. Oh yeah, I got my mission specialist. Nice. All right. Let's see here. Let's just go in and go back here. Oh, something reasonably quick. I think we might be able to pull off. We could try to speed run a power of the reactor. You want to do that?
Yes.
Or a balloon?
Let's do balloon.
You want to do balloon?
Yeah.
All right.
That's newish.
All right. I'm just looking at what else we got here. I was just looking at the rewards as well. I was like rotating
okay,
Gizmo.
well, if you want to selfishly just play for the rewards, then we can do that too.
We can do balloon. Okay, we'll do a balloon. That's fine. I do kind of want to selfishly play for the rewards, but it's like if I'm going to invest the time, might as well have it optimized, right?
You can still play Fortnite after the stream.
So everybody make sure like we got some great hero heroes here. So one of the changes in OT8 was we have unique skins for all of our heroes now. So each of the heroes has a sort of a different skin. We've got the Money Outlander. I don't know what our team's calling it, but man, is bling. We've got our ninja. Checking this blue suit here is pretty cool. I've got my all black constructor.
All right, launch the balloon. I don't know. We haven't shown launch the balloon on stream yet, have we? I don't think we have.
I don't remember honestly.
Yeah. I don't think we have.
It used to be. Do we have it before? It was, so I think in OT7, in OT7 what we did was we split, so we decided we wanted two varieties of the of sort of blue glow mission, of some more focused blue glow missions, like Launch the Rocket. We felt Launch the Rocket was like this really big, awesome mission.
Right.
So we wanted kind of a smaller, a little bit of a more consistent version. And so what we did is we paired up. We were like, hey, we have retrieved the data where balloon's coming down. Why don't we set up a Launch the Balloon mission where we actually go out and launch the balloon. And so that's what spawned this mission. And so it requires less blue glow. But it has a couple of different waves of fights. It certainly has a different feel. Here we go. Let's go save the survivor.
Female survivors.
Yeah,
Also
female
brand
survivors
new
also.
Also there for
in.
OT8.
Pretty awesome. And so we added that mission. We added this mission to kind of round out the game a little bit more. Let's see here, where are we at?
You just gotta find the.
That's right. Now that I'm like literally almost out of resources from that defense,
Left
like,
you with nothing.
not quite nothing.
Enough.
Okay, Ninja
should
found
be
it.
enough to do this. Yeah.
Man, Ninja just like literally ninja'd all the way across the map, and it's just like, here it is, guys. Let's go. Hurry up.
So John, adding new mission types, does that make it harder to think about all the different things that the AI has to do?
It does, yeah. Of course, it depends on the complexity of the mission and how new and different it is. But I think we shouldn't limit ourselves by what we've done before. We should try new things. As we've been adding more stuff, it's a little difficult to figure out how the best way to make the AI work for the new mission, but we eventually do figure it out. We have the deliver the goods mission, which is quite a different sort of thing from what we've had before.
Yeah.
Where you have the minecart that you're and the track that you're laying out, and getting the AIs to go after a moving target.
Yeah.
It's been
That was a tough one.
that was a tough one for Daniel and Ash to figure out and make work, but it's definitely gotten there. And I like the my favorite one though is it's not Launch the Balloon, it's the one you were going to do just now. What was that one called? The
Power the reactor.
Power the Reactor. That's my favorite one right now. It's just it's a bit different than the other ones that we have, and it requires you to go and explore, and things happen as a result of you exploring or not doing the thing you're supposed to be doing in time or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit different than what we've had before. But in that case, I don't think we had to do anything. It was just the designer's creativity that allowed that one to be allowed that one to be done.
Normally I'd be constructing this wings here with brick, but we're out of brick, so we're doing full on metal.
This wings is a new technique I've noticed for recently. Is it new for?
It's not new. We've been OT since about OT8. I think a lot of the top end game has been kind of using this technique ever since.
I've seen it a lot.
I want to say it is something that Fox. There's a couple people that stumbled onto it, and I think Fox was the one that turned me on to it. MSGT Fox, and so it's a pretty good technique. I at some point, players, heads up. At some point, traps will probably not penetrate these other building pieces. I'm guessing that may happen. Just giving everybody fair warning. But as of right now, they do.
Seems like the optimal way to play.
It is a very decent strategy. Currently, so. And specifically, one of the nice things is that this allows you a jump pad technique, where we use enemy jump pads to actually push them back off the walls.
Yeah.
So, and we do not like that part of the game sometimes, right there. Okay though.
Yeah. That's one of my favorite things is if I because of the procedural generation, man, if I if I get that, atlas that's like kind of near the edge of the map, and I can actually launch enemies off the map, that I feel like I hit the jackpot.
Yeah, I'm the
that
same way.
happens.
Totally the same way.
Okay. Do one of my. Okay, they got the blue glows. Okay, good. Okay, so and then we're gonna drop some health pads here. Make sure. When it becomes time to use that. Now, the interesting thing about just like the rocket mission, when we activate this thing, when we power this thing up, we're actually gonna get the storm coming from all sides. So, I guess that's another thing that is greatly improved in OT8 is our storms and our storm systems.
Yeah.
And our team just did a phenomenal job. They just knocked it out of the park. Bill Cladis on VFX, John Lindquist,
awesome wind
just
and
did
stuff,
amazing work.
Yeah.
And so I'll get the. Good. Yep. And so what we're going to see here is that the attack is going to come from all sides here. So we can see, sort of the storm, starts firing up here. We get the trees moving in the background. The environment has changed, and we get our cloud in the background. So pretty cool. And actually, this is one of the things. For this design also allows us to trap all the walls in a nice way, because we do get the enemies are going to come from every side.
All right.
You want me to get going here?
I mean, if you didn't, then you should rename your home base from something other than YOLO.
Fair enough. Oh man, call me out. All right, let's do it. All right, let me drop mine. I'll drop it in a second.
I don't want it to be too easy for you. That's the thing.
So for me, that's one of the amazing things about Fortnite, though, is that there's a nice balance between the people that enjoy being preppers, just prepping and making sure everything's going to last, everything's ready, and those people that just want to go in and just caution to the wind, and you get a mix of both types into the game, and it's pretty amazing to me. The amount of prepping this game allows you to do is awesome. Now I'm also, let's see how much ammo I've got.
So, because again we're showing this for the first time on screen, how many stages are there for the defend?
Only 2. So there's only 2. We're going to do 2 stages here. You got a bonus objective of making sure the balloon doesn't take stays above 80% damage, 80% health, I should say. Where's that? Oh, I heard him. Heard a smasher. Where's he at?
It was the smasher that was the reason that I lost my outpost.
Yeah. Well, they are intense.
It was like, cool, smasher, and then I was like, wait a minute, it's actually doing its job and is letting all of the other husks inside my outpost.
Look at it, dude. Look at this. Oh man, the cycle is just so rad.
Yeah, the storm looks incredible now.
We should go find our way underneath that storm, get some rain on us.
Do you find that, I know you play with a lot of different people in the community. Do you find that that's where a lot of your strategy comes from, is playing with people and seeing what they do and trying to, take some of that, put it in the tool set?
Oh yeah, of course. I try to give credit where credit's due, and I make sure to copy strategies quickly. There's just our community does amazing things that are just, they find ways to both break the game and to exploit it in incredibly smart ways. And our intent is to build tool sets that allow them to do that. So the same way, John has one of the most interesting jobs on the game, which is how to create AI that is both exploitable and not exploitable at the same time, which is it's incredibly challenging.
It's delicate. It's delicate.
Sure, because you want people to have some sense of, if I do a thing, this will probably happen or can happen, but not to such a degree that it takes the element of surprise or
yeah, like I said, if it violates the sort of spirit of the game we're trying to make, that's where we have to start questioning: are they doing the right, or are we doing the right thing, or should we change the way we're doing something so that it doesn't allow it as much, or remove it altogether? I mean, I would say there are some things in OT7 that I saw that players were doing, and I changed things for OT8 as a result of those, as a result of seeing those types of things.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe one day I'll talk about them, but
not yet. Too soon.
Not too soon. Too soon.
There's an optional bonus challenge now available.
I really love us to be able to walk up those diagonal walls that Zach's using as ramps.
Oh, right, these here.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This is a great example of something.
Walking up there.
Yeah, like this is cool. Like I enjoy doing this, and it's probably not quite. There's some balance issues to it, right? And
Definitely.
we want to make sure players have a fun game, but at the same time, we want the game to be balanced and challenging in a consistent way. So.
Yeah, in any game I've worked at, when the player has navigation possibilities that the AIs don't have, it creates an imbalance that is sometimes difficult for the AI to overcome. And this one is up there on my list of things I'd love to take a look at one day.
Yeah,
but it's.
I imagine it's possible we could prevent. There's some other challenges with that, right?
There's some other challenges that I don't need to get. It's very technical, but it's something I've been thinking about for a year now or so.
Yeah.
It just hasn't become a priority because it's
does some of that stuff eat at you when you see like a thing? You're like, man, I really want to.
This one definitely. I put it on a list, and but it doesn't. It's not like the list is large, So
exactly.
it's so
realistically, normally my solution is more something,
that doesn't really work. Oh yeah.
More something like this.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, that one. Yeah. That's cool.
I think that's legit.
That.
I think that's legit right there. So
there's a chance you could miss that. I mean, even walking up the diagonal things, there's a chance you could not pay attention and walk off.
Or you trap the bottom. There's some cool stuff. Okay,
we fixed a lot of cases where people would use stairs and kind of create a corner between two pieces of geometry, but now the AIs know how to traverse that as well.
Right.
So.
Gotta teach the AIs, man.
Yes.
Coach them up.
It's making it work for every permutation of possibility of geometry is quite a difficult problem.
Yeah.
And we do a lot of as we.
All right. Well, cool. So everybody in the chat, appreciate you guys hanging on with us. We're still giving out some codes, even though we're about to wrap up. Hang around the chat. We'll get to try and get to all of you, and really appreciate everybody hanging out. We had people in the chat super early today, like a couple hours before the stream. So we're in there talking with people, and some of those people that were in there at the very beginning, got codes right away. So really appreciate it for people hanging around, and excited to be able to bring a bunch of you into to play OT8 with us. So when you get in, when you get those codes, by the way, when you log in that dashboard, you'll actually have a couple of invites that are attached to them. You'll be able to invite some friends to play with. We hope to see you on forums and global chat with us in OT8, and look forward to playing with you. But we are gonna hop off now, and probably Zach will go play that mission that he wants to play, so he can get his reward.
Probably. Let's see.
So,
especially if you keep the QA guys with me, we'll just go.
We thank you guys for watching, and we will talk to you next time.
Thanks, guys.
See ya.
Bye.